Here are 5 things I don't like about the Paper Pro. And it's already showing as we're speaking. Do you see that line right there? There's that line that's happening when I'm flipping pages. Sometimes it'll be there, sometimes it won't. But if you guys can see the closeness of that line right there. See that line? And then of course when I flip it, when I flip the page, it's still there. See that line? I'm flipping the page. It's reducing though as I'm flipping. It's erasing. All right, and that's another. Oh, you saw sex, right? This is just part of my studies. But regardless, see, that's why there needs to be a disclaimer before sharing with y'all what I write in these in this Paper Pro. But anyways, there's that line that seems to always be there, but it does go away as you're flipping pages. But if you don't like that, then like myself, then it's best not to get this device. But here's another one that I don't like. As I'm writing, right? I'm writing, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I don't like. And it's about the pen. We can't get rid of the pen because the pen is part of Remarkable Paper Plus. This pen is the Marker Plus, okay? It has an eraser. I love the eraser, but here's the problem. I can't receive the feedback from the eraser. So it's very inconsistent. For instance, I'm feeling that grittiness of erasing. I'm feeling it again, right? But when you have the experience that I had writing on this thing, you don't necessarily get that feedback all the time. Sometimes it's like, is that? I don't know if you can hear it, but you get that versus, you see how deep that is? That's the feeling I'm talking about. Like it's not consistent, and I really like the grittiness of that eraser when I'm erasing something versus something like slick. So that's what I don't like about this Remarkable Paper Plus in contact with the Marker Plus. All right. There's a guy in the Eink space named Voyage or Voya. He has a channel named My Deep Guide, and he had the same experience as I did, where I would put the line and nothing will happen. So the secret is to hold on to it so that way it can select the entire notes that you want to select. What this does basically is you're able to select what you need to select and move it around. That's the whole point of that. I just think that they should have made it so simple for the user experience to just put that line and call it a day versus holding on to that line and then select below. But that's just me nitpicking, and that's just an extra step. Also, what I don't like about this device is that the brightness doesn't go any higher than what I have it on right now. So if we bring it down a notch, cool. But most of the time I have it on here. And yes, this drains the battery a lot more. I just like the clear whiteness of the paper. That's why I always have it on. There's a hack on YouTube. If you go on YouTube and just select Paper Plus Pro hack, and it'll probably show you how to make it brighter. But of course, I don't want to really touch that stuff because I don't know what the long-term effects are for having that hack. So that's up to your discretion, completely up to you. But for me, I'm not going to mess around with it. Another thing that I dislike about my Paper Plus Pro is the e-ink dots. If you're sensitive to that, then this might not be the right fit for you. What am I talking about? If we get close, you'll see that there's this e-ink dots on the screen, right? It's very subtle, but the more you use it, the more you can see it. Maybe this is not the right the right display or the right cover. All right, here's another example of what I mean about the e-ink dots. Let's get close to it so that way you can see. Do you see that? Do you see those e-ink dots that I'm talking about? There you go. That's the e-ink dots I'm talking about. Right? Versus Kaleido. I think Kaleido has a different type of texture. It does go away the more you use it. You don't even notice it. But when you do notice it, it takes away your experience of the book. Another thing I don't like about this device is that it has this yellow look to it. Again, you'll get used to it, but the yellow is just too pronounced. It always looks good when it's using yellow, yes, but it has this yellow feeling to it. So check it out. The yellow on this, beautiful, right? And this is just a good example of how pronounced and how good the yellow is on this device. But of course, when you're moving on to other parts of the book, it just has this yellow sensation. It's gotten better just because I have the white lights plus this part going on. It just has a very subtle yellow format on the entire experience that you're having with this e-ink. So the question is, am I still going to keep this device? Yeah, even with all those downfalls, I'm still going to keep it because it gives me that feeling of wanting to keep writing on my e-ink tablet. It's such a great feeling, writing. It's almost addicting. Yes, this is an expensive device, and maybe that can be my bonus on what I dislike about this e-ink tablet is the price. The question is it going to bring you into the e-ink space and make you use it instead of keeping it on the side? That's something you would have to really think about before throwing in that $600, $700, $800, whatever you decide to place upon this package. I knew that I just want the tablet. And of course the pen. With any device, they're all gonna have pros and cons, believe it or not. And there's no perfect, right now, there's no perfect e-ink tablet out there. But regardless, I'm still enjoying my time writing on this. And so I'm gonna go ahead and flip the table and turn it to you. What don't you like about your current e-ink tablet? And will you give yourself some grace and know that there's no perfect e-ink tablets out there? They're all going to be based on your individuality, on your needs. That is my 5 things that I don't like about the Remarkable Paper Plus, and I wonder what yours are.